Well, hey friends, Tim here with OceanWaveSound.com, and welcome to part 2 of Understanding Compression. Last time we looked at threshold and ratio, and this time we're going to tackle attack, release, knee, and gain. And I'm going to make this video as quick as I can, but there's a lot of information here, so hang with me and we'll get through it as quickly as we can. So let's jump in. First thing we're going to look at is attack. Now, all that is saying is how quickly the compressor is going to start working after it hears that the volume level has gone above the threshold. And you can set this attack to be a quick attack time or a slow attack time. What it's doing is the slower your attack, the more of that loudest part of the signal that it hears, it's going to let through. Because you got to remember, you're telling it how quickly after it hears that loud part are we going to actually start working. So in our example here in the snare drum, what you're going to do is I'm going to sweep this back to a fast attack time and a slower attack time. With the faster attack, you're not going to hear so much the stick hitting the head of the drum. You're going to hear more of the resonance. You're going to hear more of the sizzle of the snare. And as I sweep it to the extreme of the other side, you're really going to hear that stick hit the top of the snare drum. So let's try that right now. All right, you hear the resonance. And now you hear more of the stick on the drum head. So by manipulating this and sweeping this wherever you want, you can pretty much adjust how much of that loudest part of the signal you want to allow through. And that can be really, really handy as you're mixing. Now release, as the volume goes back below the threshold, the compressor says, hey, I don't need to do anything with this audio anymore. It's below the threshold. How quickly do you want me to release that? Now you got to remember, a compressor, not only is it pulling down the loudest volume, it's also kind of pushing up the softer volume stuff that may have gotten lost in the uncompressed audio. Again, it squeezes it from the top and bottom, it compresses it. So release, the longer a release time, you can have more sustain underneath your audio source, or a quicker release, you might lose some of that sustain. So let's take a listen to it, and I'm just going to set our attack here at 20, just an arbitrary number, and then I'm going to sweep through the release and let you hear what that sounds like. Okay, so with a fast release of 5 milliseconds, drum goes away pretty quick. Now the drum's still going away, but it's going away where you hear a little bit more of that release in there. And if I was to take our attack, you can hear that as it goes through a little bit. Again, it's subtle, but these small moves can make a huge difference in your mix. So let's just pull this back, put that release, let's say 180, just for fun. All right, so now we're going to talk about knee. And what knee does, there's hard knee and soft knee. And knee basically says, hey, when you hit the threshold, this is when I want you to start working. That's called hard knee. We're not touching the audio until it crosses the threshold. However, soft knee, if you notice how that kind of got a smoother curve to it, soft knee says as you start to approach the threshold, I want you to gradually start to work and start to compress the audio source. Think of it this way. If you are approaching a stop sign in your car, if you say, I'm going to wait until I hit the stop sign to apply my brakes, that's a hard knee. If you say, as I see the stop sign coming, I'm gradually applying the brakes, that's a soft knee. They will both do the same thing. They're going to get you stopped, but it's how you approach that. And again, it's all subjective. There's no right or wrong when you're mixing, but there are some benefits to a hard knee. There are benefits to a soft knee. It all just depends on what the mix needs. And so I'm going to play this snare drum, and then I'm going to do sweep through hard knee to soft knee, and you can hear the difference. Let's really squash this. All right, subtle difference, but I can tell from my vantage point that it's a little bit smoother of a sound when I have a soft knee. And we're just about making subtle changes to your audio mix as you go through, because those will all add up to make a huge difference later on. So again, it's very subtle, but it is there. Well, finally, let's talk about gain. And what you want to do is whenever you're compressing an audio signal, because you are lowering the overall volume, you want it to come out of your compressor at the same level that it went in. The reason for that is you don't want to control your overall volume through the compressor. You want to control that on your fader, on your mixing console, but you want all the benefits of compression happening. So if you do this gain, sometimes it's called makeup gain. If you raise this, then you're going to get the same output level as you have with your input level. Super helpful. So I would encourage you to look over here at these meters, and we're going to see the in and the out. And as I pull down this threshold, what you're going to notice is that the input is going to be stronger than the output. I'm going to raise up the gain so that they become the same level. And then I'm going to bypass it, turn the compressor off, and then turn it back on to make sure that those levels sound equal. So here we go. So we see the input level is stronger than the output level. So let's take our gain and push that up. So maybe at 2.3. Nope. All right, it was 2.7. So as you can tell, our input and output levels became the same. So let's bypass this and make sure that that sounds the same. Yeah, pretty close, but we're getting all the benefits of the compression. Now, I'm doing extreme moves on the compressor here. Normally, I wouldn't do such extreme sweeps here and there, but just so that you can hear it a little bit better, that's what we do. And again, in the context of the overall mix, things may need to be adjusted and changed. That's why we have all these tools available to us. But that covers attack, release, knee, and gain. So thanks for sticking around, listening to this video. If you liked it, if you felt like it added value to what you do in your mixing, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and thank you so much for checking out oceanwavesound.com if you get a chance to do that. And I will see you next time.